Why is Portland called Rip City? Find out next. Have you ever heard a spontaneous expression that really turned into an identity for a team? That's the situation that happened with the Portland Trailblazers. Now, when people today hear about Portland as Rip City, some of you may ask, well, how did that come about? Well, I thought I'd give you the story, and it is based on legendary Blazer broadcaster Bill Schonely. Let me share that with you.
Where did Rip City come from? Well, I want you to know, folks, that it came from him. And this is exactly the game. Blazers were down by 25, 26 points. We get to the point of the game against the mighty Lakers, Chamberlain, Jerry West, and all those guys. And the next basket would tie the mighty Lakers. Jimmy had the ball, and he had a great night that night. The crowd was going crazy because they knew the next basket would tie Chamberlain. We'll show him, that type of thing. And I was sitting at midcourt in those days, and about right here at midcourt, the midcourt line.
I think I crossed over the midcourt line because I didn't want a 10-second violation. I knew you were on my left.
Yeah, but you looked over at me.
I did because I'd gotten one of those streaks in the quarter, and I don't know what I had in the quarter. It might have been 16 or 18.
Yeah.
This is one of those times where, I helped bring it back, and I knew the basket would tie it, and I knew I was going to shoot it.
Right.
And I looked over at you, Bill, just to my left, after I got across half court, just to kind of let you know. I think I kind of smiled at you, just to be on your toes, because I was not going to pass the ball. I was going to take the shot.
Well, as it turned out, he turned around, and we got to about in here?
And I came into, we didn't have a three-point line, but it was way behind the three-point line area. But I would say I came to somewhere that would have been 8 or 10 feet behind the three-point line.
Yes.
Which was my range then. I'm not going to launch it at half court.
He could shoot it. There was no question about that.
So I think I got somewhere in this area, and they had not yet put pressure on me, and I just let it fly.
And as it floated in the air, it went through the twine, and for whatever reason, I'd been trying to come up with a phrase all year long, and nothing would work. But whatever happened, when it went through the webbing, I said, "Rip City!" Yes, sir. Well, the Lakers immediately were flustered. They took a timeout. I sat back in my chair for a commercial break.
Yeah.
And the guys next to me, left and right, they said, "Rip City?" And I said, "Yeah." They said, "Leave that in." So this guy was the birth of Rip City right here.
So that is basically the story of that expression in a nutshell, explained by legendary Bill Schonely, and the guard who made that shot, Jim Barnett. And it was one of those things where he was the original guy that made these long 30-foot shots, and that was kind of a history in other game situations.
There's Blake to Roy. This is for the win.
Brandon Roy, you're never out of it. As he just comes to the ball and elevates, gets his legs behind him, and follows through.
A 3 wins the series. It's Lillard. He got the shot off. Lillard, good! And the Blazers win the series for the first time in 14 years. Of course, it's being reviewed because it goes in at 0-0, but it's out. It's over. Damian Lillard sends Portland to the second round.
Lillard, a chance to send the Thunder home. Lillard, long-range three, and it's good! At the buzzer! Damian Lillard! Are you kidding me?
And so it just seems that, Jim Barnett started that trend, and it carried down into modern Blazer era. And so, like I said earlier, that was the story behind how Rip City came about. It was a spontaneous expression, and it became an identity. In fact, it became such a big identity that they, back in the early 90s, before the Portland Trailblazers went to the NBA Finals against the Detroit Pistons, a local radio station group carried out this mix with Rip City in it. It's called Ripcity, Rhapsody.
Rip City, Rhapsody, Portland, Oregon, USA. Rip City, Rhapsody, we're the Blazers and we love to play. Slammer, jammer, jump shot, Blazers burning red hot. Rip City repeat, winning to a new beat. Big and proud in the NBA, sacking hot stats every time we play. Teamwork, bounce pass, poise pride, first class. Hot seats courtside, Blazer bus free ride. Halftime, home team, game enhancers. Talking about Portland's Blazer dancers. Fast break flying, keep on trying. Now we're smoking, now we're skying. We ain't messing, we ain't lying. Portland's winning, so stop your crying.
And so that takes me back when the Blazers were on the verge of making it to the finals 2 out of the 3 years. Terry Porter, Jerome Kersey, my favorite player ever, and Danny Young. And like I said, it was a couple of local DJs in the Portland area, and it had a pretty good beat. Now, I'm going to put that link in the description, because if you want to hear the whole version of it, feel free to do so. And so this was just a spontaneous expression, and it just became a franchise identity. That's pretty much it as far as the history of Rip City in Portland. And so with that in mind, I'm going to conclude this video by just giving this a send-off. The only way I feel I should send this off, by the legendary and late Hall of Fame broadcaster Bill Schonely.
People say when you're a fan for life. All it takes is that one moment when an entire stadium comes together and you're bearing witness to history. I felt it in 1970 when Jimmy Barnett hit an incredible game-tying shot. The crowd went crazy and I yelled out, "Rip City!" Who knew those 2 words could mean so much to so many?